Guys, I was enjoying my Formula One. Okay, I was living La Vida Loca. I was enjoying the season. It was a phenomenal season. What a season it's been, by the way, in 2024. Multiple different race winners, multiple teams winning races in Formula One. And normally I'm accustomed to my summer break, as it happens every summer in that July, August period. But I tell you what, I was not ready for a second one. We're in October, and I am lonely without Formula One. Formula One, return. I need you back in my life because I cannot do this. I can't do this without any Formula One to look forward to on the weekend. You know, what I would do to see a team principal conference, to see a driver's press conference, to see FP1. What I would do right now to see that, of course, the only way I'm getting my fix at this moment in time is watching them highlights of my boy Lando Norris doing the business at the Singapore Grand Prix, as well as McLaren in general winning some races this season. Scenes of glorious emotion. Shout out to Oscar Piastri. But people, what the hell is going on? Why do we need another break in Formula One? Why? Someone explain to me why. Why do we need another break? This is ridiculous. We do not need more breaks in Formula One. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe it. When the calendar comes out every season for the following season, right? I didn't look at this moment and think, hang on a minute, there's a bit of a gap here. What's going on? There's a bit of a gap here. It's a bit too much for my liking. I didn't think any of these things. Now, I'm sitting here perplexed, disgusted. I just can't believe it. This season, we were on fire. What is the point of another 4-week break? It's no wonder the season ends in next year, it feels like. What a long season it has been, by the way. 6 races to go in a 24 calendar season. It tells you everything you need to know. By now, all the races we've had would have been done. A season would have been done and dusted. But we are still here. Why do we need 2 breaks? You know? And yes, I've done a bit of research on this, reduce carbon footprint and whatnot. We want to cluster the groups of racing together. That's why they moved Japan to where they did when it's near China. And then they've gone and done, the Abu Dhabi, I think, and Qatar. They're kind of back to back. But, what's even another thing that I found strange? I forgot that we had sprint races this season because we ain't had a sprint race for a long time, since June. It's October right now, people. We ain't had one in 4 months. And the next one's in literally in October. And don't get me wrong, take it or leave it. I don't mind the sprint weekend. I don't mind. I can't lie. But in a season where you're going to have 6 sprint races in a season, guys, we've got 6 races left and there's 3 sprints to go. So we're going to get crammed with sprint racing. We're going to be exhausted as fans. God knows how the teams are going to feel. God knows how the staff will feel come the end of the season because they will be absolutely flat out. Absolutely flat out. But I am just like, this is not on. I need Formula One in my life. Listen, I don't mind, having a gap here and there, 2-week gap. You know what I mean? I will have a 2-week gap. 4 weeks is ridiculous. 4 weeks in Formula One gaps. No. We need to have the Formula One season live and direct. That's what we need. We don't need these gaps. We don't need these breaks. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to hear none of these things. It's too long. It's too much. And then you're going to hit me. You're going to bang me in the face with 3 sprint weekends. And you know what's funny? I looked on the calendar. Guess what? There's another 3-week break coming up. After the Brazilian Grand Prix, I think it's the Brazilian Grand Prix, we will having another break. Why? We don't need more breaks. Space it out a little bit. Make it fluid. 2 weeks here and there, maybe 1 week here and there. But then you're going to hit me with some triple headers. So we're going to have 2 triple headers now between now and the end of the season. Why? Why are we going to do this? Why are we going to have that much of a gap between the next 2 seasons, between those, sort of clam everything together, cluster it all together, then have another break? 3-week break, triple header. Don't get me wrong. By the end of the first triple header, we'll be exhausted. We'll be on the floor, be like, thank God there's no Formula One in the weekend. But by week 2, week 3, it's too much. It's too much of a gap. Right now, I'm sitting in the middle of a 4-week no Formula One weekend season, right? And it's killing me. It's hurting me. I need my fix. I need my Formula One racing, And it's just weird because when you look at last year, for example, or even next year, I think it is, the gap between Singapore and Austin, which is the next Grand Prix, was what, 2 weeks? So what happened here? Something tells me there's a stinker on the cards. Something tells me that we were supposed to have a Formula One race in this time. It's an absolute stinker. We need to find out what took place. Why don't we have a race in between, Singapore and Austin? Someone needs to explain it to me. FIA, you need to come out and say, listen, here's what the situation is. Because you don't really, like, when you're looking ahead of the calendar season, you're not really looking for these gaps, are you really? You're kind of looking at, what races are like kind of back to back? Like, you're looking at the Qatar and Abu Dhabi thing, or you're looking at there's some races where you just think from one country to the next, how are they doing that in a week or even in 2 weeks, right? That rest and recoup, they have to have it, make it known, right? But I think genuinely there was something supposed to be here and they've had an absolute stinker. They've had a Western Supermare and we need to get to the bottom of this because we cannot be having this next season. Like, fine, let them have their break in Formula One, have a summer break. I love all that. We're in autumn, heading to winter. We do not need another break. We don't need another 4-week break. It's ridiculous. And then, and what's so funny is obviously Formula One didn't know this was going to happen. But this season has been phenomenal. Really good this season. And people that talk about Formula One, it's the same race winner wins all the time. No, they don't. I ain't seen Max win since the sun was out. Max Verstappen ain't won a race in 8 races? That's a long time. He ain't been winning. Red Bull for that matter, not winning races. Meanwhile, Ferrari collecting, Mercedes won 3 races in a row in this time. McLaren collecting. So what's going on? Somebody needs to explain to me what is happening with Red Bull. But listen, we could be chewing the fat on the Red Bull situation or on the Formula One season as it is. But guess what, guys? We're not doing that. Why? Because we are sat in the middle of a break. Just when. And the thing is, like, okay, if you're a Red Bull fan, you're thinking, thank God for this. Because now I can sit down, recoup, sort this mess out. And I'll tell you what, if Red Bull go ahead and win the next 3 races, those 3 back-to-back, I'm going to be seething. I'm going to be absolutely fuming because we've let Red Bull get back into this when we didn't need to have that. We were, let it be a photo finish. If Red Bull are going to win the championship this year, if Max Verstappen is going to win the title this year, let it be a photo finish. I don't want to see a clean sweep. I don't want him to be win by a canter. That's what I'm fearing for my life at this moment in time, that we're going to come back to Formula One. I'm excited. I'm giddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what's Piastri doing this weekend, what's Norris doing this weekend. And then for you to tell me that Max Verstappen is 30 seconds in front. No, I'll be fuming. I'll be absolutely fuming. We need to make sure Red Bull are still in the mud as they have been in the last, 8 weeks, 10 weeks or so. It's been scenes we've been enjoying and they just took it away from us. And I don't know why, it's just sprung on us. And it wasn't even like, sometimes the summer break, you sort of like 2 to 3 races before the summer break, you're like, yeah, summer break is coming up. There's quite a lot of talk around that sort of situation. But this time round, it was like, it kind of just got sprung on us. And I must have just heard it on the fly. I think I was watching Sky Sports Formula One and I heard it on the fly. Oh, we'll return in 4 weeks. So, whoa, hang on, wait just a damn minute. What do you mean 4 weeks? Excuse me, stop the press. What's 4 weeks? They're having me on. So they've obviously had a mare, right? And I thought, nah, it can't be. So I'm looking at the calendar now, and I said, hang on a minute. The next race is in Austin. We're in Singapore right now, so we know for sure it's not going to be the next 2 weeks. But geez, 4 weeks. This can't go on. This is an absolute mare. We need to make sure we do not have this next season, Formula One. We don't need to be. And the thing is, it seems like a simple job just to put in place, right? We have a calendar, 24 years. You've got countries all over the world, and you want to try and piece everything together. I get it. There's dates, there's schedules, things, venues are booked, and everything else like that. I get that. Like, for example, Las Vegas, you can be forgiven because Las Vegas it's that crazy town, right? So trying to fit a Formula One race in the middle of the strip, incredible scenes, whoever pulls that off, right? But you're thinking to yourself, we've got races in Asia, we've got races in Europe, we've got races in the Americas. Let's make it make sense. We've got X amount of months to get a season done. Let's spread it accordingly. Oh no, Formula One does not do making sense. Doesn't do common sense, okay? Formula One does not do common sense. So here we are talking about another 4-week break in Formula One, and for them to find out there's another 3-week break. After 3 weeks of Formula One racing, where I'm watching sprint races and I'm watching triple headers and I'm going to be exhausted, fried. My brain will be fried by the end of the 3 weeks. And then we'll have a 3-week break and then we'll go back to the final 3 races of the week of the season. And guess what? 3 weeks back to back to back. Formula One, sort yourselves out. Get your finger out. What the heck are you doing? Can we make sense? Make it make sense. We can't be doing this, okay? Another 4 weeks. This can never happen again, Formula One. We cannot have 2 summer breaks in a Formula One season. Absolutely not. We cannot be having this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Surely you agree with me. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. This is not on. This cannot happen. We can't be here doing this, okay? What other sport do you know that does this? I know you're going to say football do international breaks. Listen, it's a weekend, 1-2 weekend. And plus you get football like every day, okay? Elsewhere, various sports, you know what I mean? Your team will play 2 to 3 times a week. So, we ain't really missing much. We see our teams more often than not. Formula One, I only get to see my team race, if I'm lucky, once a weekend. Proper racing. 1 qualifying session, 1 race, done. In the practice sessions, I don't even know what's going on. Only they do. They're sorting themselves out. But anyway, rant over. It's ridiculous. Formula One, sort yourselves out, okay? And make sure next time we do not have nonsense like this. If you agree with me, smash a like on the video, please. And let me know in the comment section. Because I need to hear your thoughts on what is another 4-week break in Formula One. It's friggin' ridiculous. Sort it out, people. Until next time, lights out.